Hey guys, welcome to Tuesday's Tips. I can always get her to laugh when I do that. It is 10:30 at night. Last night was the class. I wasn't able to go because we have our registration in basketball, so Sherry went. But I did get to watch the video today, and we did our homework, and we're going to give you some tips on what we learned. I guess, last night and today. This week was talking about buyer beware. And one of the things that he talked about, let me put my glasses on because I'm getting old and I need my glasses. How marketing companies get you to buy certain things. They put things, whether it's TV, radio, whether it's internet, so forth and so on, and how they market it. They're very good salespeople. For example, TV ads are typically expensive. A typical 30-second national TV commercial costs nearly $300,000 to produce. That's $10,000 per second. By contrast, the cost to produce an entire hour of primetime television is about the same, $300,000, but what comes to $83 per second. So TV shows are pretty much marketed for you to buy things. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Yep. She doesn't feel good.
Nope.
Wow.
Sore throat.
I was gonna say you better do more things. Yup. Nope.
Duh.
You went through this and studied. You need to talk some about this stuff. So when I get to a certain thing, chime in. People, she better chime in. I know she's sick, but we're here to help you all. We're here to help them. We're helping to give them tips. You want to explain that? Why you just did that?
Because I'm being a Beverly Hillbilly right now. He gave some different things that the younger generation back in the day, you know, the Beverly Hillbillies. You know, how many people today can sing that song with no problem? Well, when we were watching the video, even the young people knew the song to the Beverly Hillbillies. It's because it was implanted in our heads once a week, every night, and it stuck with you. Like, you know, where's the beef? You know, you think of Wendy's, you think of that. It's all marketing. What was another one that he shared? Where's the beef? Oh, M&M's. They melt in your mouth, not in your
hands.
You know, again, another marketing tool. It's all about repetition, marketing. You know, that's how they get your business. That's all I got to say.
What you gotta say?
That's all I got to say.
Okay, so you think about that. So when you're going out there and buying things, you have to understand that's what their job is. It's nothing wrong with it, but their job is to sell those things, and they do a great job on that. So that was one of the things we're talking about. It's a lot more detail on that, but
You're talking really loud.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Really,
I thought it was just you talking really loud.
No, you're talking really loud. It's like, wow.
Okay, I'm gonna whisper.
I'm just really sensitive.
Yes, you are sensitive.
I am.
Okay, so anyway, the next thing we talked about is what you would consider a significant purchase. If you're really rich, then of course, a significant purchase with you might be something over $1,000, and if you're really poor, it may be like $100. They said, but the normal average is about $300. So, because what happens is if you buy something really expensive, your body goes through a lot of these changes, just psychological changes. Your palms start getting sweaty, and just things happen. And one of the things that was said is that we all have that spoiled, red-faced grocery store kid living inside of us. That gotta have it. And what he called that, and his name is immaturity. So we have to determine what is. So how do we gain power over purchases? Okay, one of the things he says is before making any major purchase. So whatever your minimum is, so if it's $100, then before making any if that's a major purchase, a significant purchase, then before you buy that item, wait, sleep on it, go to bed, think about that purchase. It says wait overnight before making a purchase.
Talking to your spouse.
No,
first.
but you're still doing that too. I'll get to all that.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I'll get to all that.
I just was trying to help you along, so I don't talk enough. I'm trying.
So number one, yes, that's one, but I'll get that. Number one is you sleep on it overnight. Number two, carefully consider your buying motives. Is it a
want or is it a need?
We all can say that it's a want, but if you're trying to get out of debt, it should be, the only thing you should be buying are needs, not wants. If it ain't broke, keep it until it is.
You're saying I can't get my kitchen set?
We're budgeting for that, but it's not like we go put that on credit and like that, and we've agreed upon that.
I know.
Okay. So.
You know, I'm changing the subject. I'm boasting right now. No, I shouldn't be boasting. I went out with friends tonight, which I shouldn't have went because I have a sore throat, my head's stuffy, you know, boo hoo hoo, I know. But I went out anyway. I didn't have any money, not even, and we always go out to eat at the food court at the mall, and we just window shop unless I have coupons. I didn't even have, even if I had, I do have coupons, but I didn't have the cash to go with coupons. So I wasn't able to even eat out with them tonight, so George, like you said, was gone, and the boys were gone. So I made a tuna fish sandwich and ate that before I went to the mall. I wasn't happy about it, but it didn't, you know, it wasn't like it was, you know, it was different. But then we went to Starbucks. I had a gift card for Starbucks, and I told her what I wanted, and the paper jammed in the computer, so it came up on register, give item free. Well, she called the manager over because, you know, I'm assuming it probably would have came out of her pocket, or she just didn't want to get in trouble. So I ended up getting a free Starbucks latte as well. So
see, you were blessed because you stuck to your guns and you had a tuna fish here at the house, and you didn't have the money, so you were rewarded with a free Starbucks. I think perfect.
But then I was bad. I had this terrible thought of, gee, if I'd have known I got it free, I'd have got a grande.
Oh well, beggars can't be choosers. All right. So the other part is that no amount of stuff equals contentment. So you can buy fun, but you can't buy happiness, and I think that's true. We buy things that it's going to make us happy. When you think about some of your past purchases, you bought them thinking it's going to make you happy, and come to find out it doesn't. It's just like a kid with a new toy. I gotta have it. And after they've been with us several months or whatever, they move on to something else. Well, we're no different as adults. Well,
try a week.
Well, I was trying to be nice, but the point is we're no different. We're the same way. We gotta have it. It's gonna make us happy, and then after a while, it doesn't, and then something else comes up. So that's one of the things you have to think about. No stuff is going to give you contentment. So you can buy for fun, but not for happiness. Also, never buy anything you don't understand, right? If you don't know how something works, why would you buy it? He had used an illustration. He used an illustration of, like, you know, a lot of people have like 15 different remote controls. They don't have to use any of them, but they went and bought them because it was a cool item to buy. So if you don't know how to do it, don't buy it.
Gee, honey, that means we shouldn't have bought anything in this house because you don't understand.
Wow. That's why I put up.
Oh, we have to call Robert.
Another thing is consider the opportunity cost of your money. So if you're purchasing something that is $10,000, I'm just using an example, and is it something that it's going to benefit you for the long run, or could that $10,000 be put into like a mutual fund? Again, you're out to have fun, you're out to enjoy yourself, and we should do it, but we just need to make sure that the choice that we make are the right choice to make. And lastly, but not least, is that we need to seek the counsel of our spouse. So we should work together, right? So I told you I'd put in there. So we should make it, anything we do, we should decide together that we're going to do it.
Right.
As an agreement, right?
Right.
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 So what we've done is we decided that anything over $100, because we could probably say the 300 is probably right for us, but just to make us more accountable to each other, we decided $100. So any over 100, we were to talk about it and see, so we don't buy on impulse. Now, the next thing I want to say is that cash is king. Cash really plays a big role. So when you have cash more than your credit, you can get things a whole lot cheaper. So here's some simple rules for successfully negotiating. So when you go to a store, and let's say you're buying furniture, like we have to buy a kitchen set. So our job, hopefully our job, and hopefully we'll follow these rules, that always absolutely tell the truth, because your character is worth more than, you're saving $50. So don't try to, windle your deal. So your character should be more important to you than that. Use the power of cash. Cash motivates people. Cash will get you people to sell you those things cheaper because you're giving them cash and there's no credit, there's no plastic involved. We need to understand and use the power use the walkaway power. If you don't like it, turn around and walk out. Okay, a lot of deals have been made at the door or in the parking lot because people just walked out and they weren't going to do it. Learn to shut up. I'm a little guilty of this. I like to talk a lot, and what happens is when you talk to a salesperson, and the more you reveal about yourself, the more they're trained to work that out and help make what they need to make. And always, if you always say that's not good enough, like let's say they offer, like for this kitchen set, like for a new kitchen set, let's just say we saw one that we liked, but it was $500 and we have $400 in cash, and they said, well, we can't do anything. Well, they said, well, we can do it for $450. That's not good enough because you go in with what you have. Master the if I take away technique. I forgot what that was about. If I take away, do you remember that one?
What was it?
One of the rules is if I take away. What does that mean?
Where's
the bottom there on the bottom. Last one. One of the 7 rules.
Master, if I take away technique, I don't. No.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, so what I want to say is
Take away.
there was a lady. We read a letter that a lady did it, and she had an account, an envelope for this called the sofa money, and she had gone shopping, did a lot of research. Another thing is do a lot of research on the item you're going to buy. Make sure it's the best product you're going to get for your money. So do a lot of search. Don't like we're going to buy a new kitchen set. So we're going to be looking around now, and we'll get an idea of pricing. And once we like something, then we'll go with that. When we have the money, we're going to pay cash for it. So what we'll do is we'll end up going to the store and saying, look, this is what, or we may do what this lady did. She called the store and said, this is what I want, and the salesman said, I'll call you back. And they missed a call, but he left on a voicemail that my manager said we can't do that. So she just didn't call back, and so he called the next day and the next day and the next day, and he thought, hey, on the third day, the manager said we can match that price, and actually did a little bit better. So she said great. So she called her back and said okay, and made her repeat it twice at that same price. Then they got down to the store to buy it, and they found out that they added a $100 service fee on it. And she goes, I said, I don't have that money. And she goes, yes, come on, it's only $100, you have it. So she pulled out her envelope with exactly the amount of money they agreed upon on the phone, and that's all I got. So needless to say, she got it that price because that's all the money she had, and she had no credit. There's no credit cards, so she had no more money. And also they threw in a warranty and a delivery. So anyway, cash is king, and you get what's that? So you get a lot more stuff done if you have cash in hand. So just be careful of the buyer beware, how the advertisements can get you. Stores are smart, man. They know what they're doing. He had told a story on the video that Apple, what they do is now there's an Apple app that you can go in, pick up a set of headphones, scan them, it automatically gets billed, and you walk out. There's no feel for money. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So
Spend credit that's been charged.
Yeah, you can't spend charges, and you didn't feel the pressure of it. So that's it. That is our Tuesday tips, and we are at almost 15 minutes. That was a long talk. Of course, you did throw your story in there, so that had a lot something to do with it.
You told me to talk. That's all I had.
That's true. You talk about stories about Starbucks. You're right.
Okay. It's a good story. He gives me credit for nothing.
I do. I give you credit for a lot. That's not.
You know, that's you're true. I'm lying.
Yes, I said I did. Yes. Give you lots of credit.
Is it up to 16 minutes yet?
60 minutes.
16 minutes yet?
Not yet. Let's get in there.
Bye, guys.
All right, we'll see you later. I'm not sure if Weight Watching Meal's going up tomorrow or not.
We'll see.
We're not ahead, so we'll see. So you may see a Weight Watching Meal or not, or you may not. But anywho, this is it. Tuesday's tips. Hopefully you get some help out of this. Any questions, as always, comment below, and we'll do the best we can answer. See y'all later.